Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, Lillian's Addiction. What I'm going to be doing today is showing you all of my coloring pages since I started coloring. And so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to show you are my loose pages. When I first started coloring, I used to take my coloring pages out of my books. And I also have a few pages here that I printed off, and so I'm going to go through and show you those. These are a couple of cards that came with the set that I printed out, and these were done with my Prismacolor pencils. Now this one right here was the very first thing that I ever colored when I started coloring back in 2017. And this one was done with, I believe it's done with acrylic paints. I believe that's what that is. So I kept that. It's the very first thing I ever colored. So this right here is done with gel pens. This right here, the very first coloring pencils that I got were Crayolas. So some of these that you'll see out of these first coloring books that I'm going to show you were done with Crayola pencils. So this was probably done back in 2017. This was done the first part of 2018. I think these were Crayolas, or maybe when I got my Prismacolors. This doesn't have a date on it, so this is probably early 2018. This is 2019, but I guess this was something that I printed off. And this was done with gel pens. This is something I printed off online. This is done with gel pens and Prismacolors. This was one of the early ones I did, and this was done with Crayola pencils. And this was done with my my glitter gel pens. These were done with Crayolas. Crayolas, and looks like some gel pens, some glitter gel pens was included on that too. Now this was one of my favorite fun ones to do. This I think was all gel pens. Looks like there's metallic pens and gel pens on that. I love how that one sparkles. So I printed that off online too from coloringpages.info. And all these are glitter gel pens on that page. This was one of my first coloring books I got that out of. Okay, and these right here were from 2018, and I printed these off online. These I did for color alongs. The artist on these were Dina Martin. They're listed on the drawing here. This one I did for a color along with Isabel, Passionista Colorista, not too long ago. This is a page out of one of my coloring books that I put together, a Zodiac coloring book. Okay, I'm going to start with This one, Designs of Adult Coloring Book by Two Hoots Coloring. This one was done with all gel pens. This was all gel pens. And this was just Crayola. I don't even remember doing that one. So that's all that was in that one. I'm going to move these aside here. Excuse me. Okay, this is one of my coloring books. And believe it or not, I've only done one page in this book. I think I've got another copy somewhere where I've done some more. But this is the one page that I've done in it when I first printed it. And there's some gel pens in there. I think maybe that's all gel pens. So that's the only page I've done in this book. This is another one of my coloring books. And I've done a lot in this book. This is one of the first pages that I've ever done that I posted on Instagram. This one was a lot of fun to color. It's all gel pens. Most of these, I think, in here are gel pens. That one, it's all gel pens. And this is back in 2017 when I first started coloring, so I didn't have a lot of experience using pencils, so this is what I went to, was gel pens. Okay, that's all I've done in that book. My next one was Stained Glass Pattern Book. I've only done one in this one. Art of Coloring Flowers. This one was done with gel pens, and I don't know if this was done with Prismacolors or my Crayolas, but I almost finished that one. So that was it in that one. Okay, this is my astrology and zodiac coloring book. And besides the one that I showed you a while ago, there's only one other one that I did in this book so far. And that one right there. I also have a Doreen Virtue. Oh, sorry about that. My light is getting kind of glary, isn't it? Right there. Messages from Your Angels by Doreen Virtue. I've only done one page in this book. Right there. Coloring for Inspiration. I've done a few in this book. I got this one from the dollar store. Done that one. This one, I used to take this one to work with me, and I would work on it during lunch. I've done that one. Like I said, these were my first colorings that I ever did. Okay. Coloring mandalas. And that one. And that one. Colored by numbers. I've seen other people do these books, and I thought I'd try one. I did this page and I don't like this book, so I haven't done any more. That's it. Now, my daughter got me this book. It's a watercolor book, and I really like it, but I've only done 2 pages in here. She bought me this, and she bought me watercolor palette. I've done that one, and I've done that one. So now I'm getting into some of the middle of 2018 to later 2018. Now, I'm sorry some of my books look so bad on the outside, but I leave them on my table while I'm at work, and my cats walk all over my table, all over my books. They come in from outside, and they get my books dirty. So here is the first page I did in this book. Of course, it's with gel pens. This is the first double page spread that I think that I've ever done. So this is the first double page spread in this book. And of course you can see there's little smudge marks on here and little footprints where my cats walked all over it. And I've done this page. Now this is the very first pencil page that I did where I try to blend colors. I was so proud of myself for doing this. So that's it. Home sweet home. Okay, let's see what I got here. 365 Promises from God's Word in Color. This one I used to take to work and work on too with just my little pack of gel pens. So I did that one, and I did that one. You see that? Okay. So the next group I'm going to show you are my Joanna Basford books, and I believe I have all of them. So I'm just gonna pull out one at a time. We'll start with the last one. They're not in any kind of order. I'm not really sure what order they came out in. So I'm gonna start with Enchanted Forest. This is my owl. Let's see. I did a double page spread in this book. Right there. I think this was the first page that I did in this book. I really, really liked it, but I don't know. I hate the background. But that's that. And I did that one. That's it. Excuse me. Magical Jungle. Let's see. I did both of these pages. And I did this one. That's all I've done in this book. Joanna's Christmas. I think I've done 4 pages in this book. I did that one. This one. That one. And all of these that I'm showing you, I've with the Joanna Basford books, they've all been done with gel pens and my Prismacolors. Yeah, I think that one was the last one in this book. So Prismacolors and my gel pens. So Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. This is done with gel pens. I didn't realize I did the nameplate there. That's the only nameplate I've ever done in any of the books. I've done those too. You see that? Okay. that one. And all that is Prismacolor. Prismacolor, and I use some pastels for the background. I hate how you can see the glue right there in the middle of this book. And I finished that page. This one is a work in progress, and hopefully one of these days I'll finish that one. We'll see. Now this one was the very first page I did in this book. Took me forever to finish that one. I think my favorite part of this book was doing those leaves. It's the first time I did any blending. You know, I was really happy with those. Okay, so all this is gel pens and pastels. Okay, gel pens. All of this is gel pens and pastels. This is the first time I ever used pastels. And my page got wet. And it made these spots, and I tried to wipe it off, and this is what happened. You see all these little water spots on here, and it just absolutely ruined my page. So make sure you stay away from your books with any liquids, because it will ruin your pages. Okay, all this done was Prismacolor. This is done with watercolor for the background. This is the first time I think I've ever used watercolor in any of my books, and gel pen on the butterfly. That's it. Oh, I forgot I did this. You can see how dirty it's gotten from being on my table here. And I tried to do some of that with gel pens. Okay, Lost Ocean. The detail in this book is so fine that I've only done one page in here. This is it. But I really like that book. Okay, World of Flowers. If any of you have watched my videos, I have a bad review on this book because my book is falling apart. See, here's another page that's coming out. I'm really disappointed in this book. I tried to glue it back together, but it's not really holding up. I think it's making things worse. I should have just left the pages out. But here are my pages that I've done. That one. I've done that one. This one is all gel pens. You see how bad the damage is right there on that book? It looks really bad. Looks worse after I tried to glue it. Oh, this is the one that I'm currently working on. Okay, and this is the last page that I did. All that is gel pen. Okay, so that's all my Joanna Basford books. Next is my Hannah Carlson books. I'm going to start with Summer Nights. I've done that one. There's a little bit of gel pen in here and my Prismacolors. There's gel pen, Prismacolors. This has got pastel background on it. Got both of those. And if you have any questions about any of my pages on what I've used, just let me know. I don't think I'm going to go through and tell you what I did on every single page. saw in my Joanna Basford books, these and the rest of them, most of them are the ones I've done 2018 and 2019 up to date. Oh, my books are falling. Okay. And the next one is Daydreams. Okay, I did this one. Did that one. Did this double page spread. Now this one is my favorite pages out of all of the Hannah Carlson books that I have. I really enjoyed doing this page and I would do it again. I wish she had a poster of this picture so I can do that so I wouldn't have this line. I would love to do this picture over again. Absolutely. I think that's the last one in here. Okay, Magical Dawn. Okay, this was the very first book I got, I guess, because I remember this is the first page that I did out of any of her books. This one right here. This one was early 2018 when I did this. I was a little scared to do a background on this one. I'm really not too fond of doing birds. I don't know how to color birds, and I did all this with gel pen, so this took me a long time to finish. But I'm really proud of that. I think I got through it pretty good. Kitty cat. This is the first time I ever colored fur. Okay, this is really bad disaster. I think I was using gel pens with this, and this is pastels, and it just looks horrible. I really don't like it. Every time I tried to add something, I tried to make it look better, and this I was using a lighter color, and I kept trying to go a little bit darker, and I just put way too much color on it, and it just muted everything out, so it took away all the color out from all the gel pens, so it just looks really bad. So I'm really disappointed in how that turned out, but it is what it is. It's there, can't redo it. Okay, I did these two pages. These two pages turned out really nice when I first did them. But because I didn't clean off the pages really good, I've learned to clean off my pages with tissue when I'm done to get all the excess pastel off the pages so they don't bleed over onto the other. But as you can see, the pencil, you can even wipe off the excess color from the pencils so they don't transfer onto the other page, but as you can tell, the color has come off onto the other pages, and even some of the marker has come off onto her face and has really messed up both of these pages, so I'm really disappointed. I was really happy with both of these pages when I first done them, but now they look really bad. So I would probably like the chance to redo both of those. So, but now I've bought some fixative, and I'm going to start using that on some of my pages and see if that helps to keep this from happening on my other pages. This was like the second page I did in this book. As you can tell, I didn't know how to do skin tone, so I tried to make her look kind of like an Amazon. That's what I did with that. This was one of the most recent ones I've done. I can really tell a difference in my coloring from where I've started to where I've gone now. So all the practice really makes a big difference. This was, this was early last year. And I had fingerprints and paw prints from my cat all over the background here. And I tried to cover it up with pastel, and it just looked really bad. So I went over it with acrylic paint, and that turned out pretty good. And as you can see, the colors from the pencils and everything has transferred onto this page. But I hope that when I decide to color this one, that it'll cover up pretty good. Okay, so that's all I've done in that book. We have seasons. Okay, so this is the first page that I did in this book. All this is done with acrylic paint, the background, and Prismacolor pencils. I just did this one recently. As you can tell, I'm still struggling with skin tones. I need to do some more practice. And I did this one at Christmas time. Next is Maria Trawl. I got two of her books. This was the first one that I got, Twilight Garden. This mold, I did watercolor for the background. As you can see, the color has gotten all over this other page right here. So like I said on the last book, I hope when I color this page that it'll cover up all that. This was the first double spread that I did in this book, and I really love it. I'm really happy with that page. Okay, I did that one. Next. Now I have got little stickles on this page, and I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but I got little bitty dots of stickles all the way through here. There's another page. This is another double page spread I did. I think this was one of the first ones I did in this book. I think, yeah, the first couple of pages I did in here were double spreads. All right, and I also did this one. So I also got Nightfall. Okay. Well, there we go. I have that one. And that's it for that book. Okay, now my next set are just some odd and end books that I've got. This one was given to me by some girls at work. I'm leaving my unit and going to another job, so they gave this to me as a going away present. And they also gave me some fine liners, so I colored in this with markers. I did this page. And this one. This is the first time I've ever colored with markers before. And has pastel background. Okay, this one's Romeo and Juliet. I've only done 2 pages in this book. I need to do more. I really like this book. Okay, I've done this one. And I've done a double page spread. This one took me forever to do. All the roses, I think that took me a couple of days to do just the roses. I did that one. And I've done 2 pages out of Romantic Country, the first tale. Done this one. This is the first page I did. And I've done this page. Now I had a spot on here where my cat had stepped on my page and I tried to go through and erase it. And so this right here is eraser marks. So when I went through and colored the background, you can see the eraser marks on the page. So I'm really disappointed in that. But other than that, I really like the page. It turned out pretty good. And my very last book that I have to show you is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I've got this page right here. And part of a double page spread, I've only done one side. This page right here. And I was really happy with her hair there. So, all right. Those are all of my coloring pages up until today. And I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Thank you. See you next time.